Welcome back to another NTW3 video, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again. And today this was a 4v4. Um, I myself, this battle probably happened about maybe a week ago, and I myself was playing as UK mixed with the Netherlands, and yeah, so this was just a regular straightforward 4v4. Um, I'm going to walk you through a little bit about what our plan was here in the beginning. As you can see here on my right flank, my allies already moving up. Pretty much, we wanted to get and secure this hilltop um, as soon as we could and kind of line up our guys behind these rock walls here. And we didn't want to immediately push on the town to grab this two-pointer, but we did want to get it eventually. We kind of wanted to see how our enemies would react here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we were fighting a complete force of French. Yep, yeah, we were. We were fighting a complete force of French, and we were a coalition of forces. So my other ally here is sending up some of his cav to scout already. Sorry, cav, not Kaz. And as you can see, I'm pushing across this hill to grab this position now. I was trying to bring with me a lot of line. I believe I only had 3 or 4 units of grenadiers as well, and I was hoping to just beat them on land. As from my first video to now, I had probably been playing this mod for about a month now. Still not an expert. It takes a long time to get used to, but it's pretty much the only mod I play now. I don't even play base game that much anymore. I'm completely playing this mod most of the time. We just got a huge amount of British forces here, and it just looks beautiful to see them all lined up. A lot of good, bulky, healthy units here. So I was setting up my artillery right here on this hill. I was hoping that I could get a good vantage point so that when they became in range, I could just start firing on them at will. And we had some French cav move up here to scout out a little bit. Okay, some lancers. And I moved mine up to kind of mirror him and show him, hey, you're not going to get an easy strike on my cav. As you can see, I moved my cav over here as well. Really trying to get a strong position on this hill. My ally was over here scouting as well, and he found a good amount of cav units here. And these are extremely heavy armored cav units. Wow. Just a lot of those cavalry. As you can see, he's moving up more of his lancers on this end, trying to get a better idea of where my units are positioned. And I believe that he was really trying to just get at my artillery here. And I think, yep, I took out 2 of my own horsemen like an idiot. It's time to move them out of the way. And I think, yeah, I started to notice that, and I was like, alright, let me move them a little bit. Took out more of my own cav like an idiot. That's the one thing with this Total War game that's different with a lot of other Total War games is friendly fire happens way more often. Obviously, because there's guns and things. Trying to get some good hits out on these cav units, although I don't think I've taken out any yet. And so, as you can see, he's pretty much moving all of his cavalry up to get a good position to then move in his infantry behind. He's trying to get a good idea of where I'm at so that he can move up all of this infantry back here. And there is a lot of it. But they're going out of my field of view here. Wow. Now just look at that mob of troops. Oh, see, I believe my allies were trying to, yep, they were trying to speedily try to move up behind me to support me on this hill, realizing that I'm not going to be able to hold this alone. So they moved up some cav on my left flank here, basically to keep anybody at bay. And it looks like we had some French cav moving up on this side as well. Looks like some dragoons. And I wonder if he's going to go in for a cav charge here. Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. And as you can see, I just have a lot of reinforcements coming up behind, all to help me take this hill, and still have my British allies moving up on my right flank to secure that as well. So we have a very good position. We felt very confident about where we were in this game, because we believed that this hill could not be taken from us. And if we could just stay here long enough, and if they would push us, if they would be dumb enough to push us up on this hill, then we would be able to crush them and then swiftly move down and take the town to win the two-pointer and win the game. But we'll see what happens. A lot of infantry moving up back here. I always like to see all this
has fallen to the enemy.
And up. Yep. They took one house already. Which one was it? I believe is this one. No. Which house did they take? Yeah, so they started moving in and taking this house. And they may have taken another one. I just did not see it. Maybe it might be back a little bit farther. But I love this part of the battles right before everything really breaks out in an all-out fight. Because it's kind of like a calm before the storm. You see everybody moving in. You see all this infantry coming down this road, moving up to help me out. Because I could not hold this hill alone. It would have been nearly impossible. And as you can see, a lot of French started moving in here as well. But at the time, I didn't know what exactly they would be doing back there. Oh, and we had a cav charge back here. 3 French units took on this British. Were they Lancers that he sent in? Yeah, may not have been the best idea. And they just get crushed by the French. Moving back over here, we had some French moving on here on our left flank. Now, I must say, during the battle, I was really focused, worried about this left flank, because as you can see, my artillery is just sitting here. And I have my ally kind of watching the left flank a little bit, but if he gets a good charge here, it could be over. Getting some good shots in over here at all this infantry. He's smart. He's lined it up kind of behind the houses, so it's not gonna be directly hit. But at the time, I didn't see all of this lining up. I believed that I was just kind of watching over here, and I couldn't really see much of this. I could see a couple of these units in the town, but not most of them. So I was kind of had tunnel vision, so to speak. Moving up his general back here. His general is moving up to support his troops, and they realize as well that they can't push me up on this hill because I'm positioned very well behind this rock wall here. And if they were to move up, my troops would just swiftly have all the cover and fire at them across this field. So they haven't advanced on me, and which was probably wise of them. But my allies really forming up strong here on my right flank, kind of trying to corral them in on 2 sides in this town. If we can, keep them here in this town, we might have a better chance because I already have a lot of my allies' infantry coming up behind. Man, these Russian musketeers just look so cool. Moving up another artillery here, and I believe in the chat my ally kept telling me, he was like, dude, you need to move your cav. Your cav is in the way. I'm about to put my artillery right next to yours. So I decided I had to get out of the way a little bit for him. Now it looks like we have some French artillery back here. They might have already set up somewhere. I didn't see. Oh, okay, I understand now. So that's what was going on. That my ally had charged in to take out this artillery unit, which he succeeded in doing, actually. But he kind of sacrificed that unit to the 3 French Lancer units, which honestly I probably would have done the same thing. Taking out this artillery was a big win for us. That would have been terrible because he would have been able to get out shots on these lines. Oh, and as you can see, he's moved up his howitzer. Oh, and he's just sending crushing shots into these lines. Very smart. Took out a good little bit of guys here as they're trying to cross back over the riverbed. Yeah, and there I go. I'm moving my cav out of the way a little bit. And my ally just had a big, huge amount of you could say a swath of cav units back here. Firing some more howitzers out at this units. Oh my gosh. And now they've gone out of my field of view, but I'm sure that took out a good bit of them. And as you can see, he's like, all right, they're trying to outflank me. So he's starting to move his units over to the right flank a little bit more through this little bit of woods. I just love the British uniforms, man. The red looks so tough. Now we had more French, looks like over here, crossing over the riverbed. Yep. And looks like we have more artillery back here setting up. Yeah. Yep, there they go. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, just crushing this. And as you can see, I moved up a little bit of my skirmishers here to go up behind this rock wall as well. So if anybody tried to push over on this side, I would be able to hit them a little bit before they get a little too close. So now we have me and my allies' artillery sitting here. And it looks like he's got some big 12-pounders. I just have a small 6-pounder over here. But these are going to be very effective guns. Very smart move to set up his artillery right next to mine. Oh my gosh, and the amount of infantry we have back here in reserve is just insane. They know that we have a very strong position, so they're going to try to outflank in any way they can. Oh, and it looks like some cav is going to try to move up a little bit, and my skirmishers are like, nope, better stay away from that. The grasshoppers. Kind of getting some shots off at them. Oh, getting some good hits. Took out a couple cav. They are like, do not get that close to our artillery. Oh, but it looks like they're trying to just move over straight to the left flank. I'm not really sure what they're trying to do here. Oh, and they're going in for a cav charge across this field. I don't think they're going to make it though. Looks like they... Oh, yep, and that broke them right there. That shot from that cannon just took out 2 horsemen, and they were like, nope. They were like, we're not going in for that. Now, as you can see, this unit is kind of in a bad position because as they're firing, it's skidding across here, kind of just ricocheting off, almost like a skipped rock. On the right flank, you can see they're starting to line up, getting ready to fire at one another. Oh, and it looks like we're going to have another cav charge, and he's going after my allies' artillery here on the left flank. Are they going to break? Oh, he might take out a couple here. Oh, man. Oh, I sent in my ally sent in his cav to take out and crush him. Will he save his artillery in time? And they do break. The French break. We have another cav charge here. The French are trying to take out our artillery once again, and we just take out a great amount of... And they are just there. Oh my gosh. Right before they could get anybody, they crumble, knocking over a few of my guys, making them stumble, but in the end, it doesn't work. Oh! Not really sure where that was going. Looks like they're trying to get some shots off into the house, but 3 cav charges there just break, and did any artillery... No. All of my allies' artillery here on this left flank survived as well. So yeah, they were really trying to... get us our artillery out of this fight, but it didn't really work. And as you can see, I'm starting to line up my cav here on this left flank because I start to notice they might be trying to get up behind us. So I'm moving my cav over to the left flank a little bit, and I have 1 cav here trying to support my allies' left flank as well. And so far, all the fighting has been here in the town and on this left flank. On the right flank, as you can see, There's still not a lot of fighting going on. I have another artillery unit. Oh, wait, hold on. Another cav charge going on over here on this side. Trying to take out my allies' artillery again, and looks like, yep, my Russian allies get off some good shots, and my cav jumps in to help out. Are they going to break both of these guys in time? And they do. They break the French just in time. Oh, man. Perfect timed cav charge on my part. And once again, we break this great amount of cav that have come in. Look at the amount of cav that have rushed in to try to take out this artillery. And it looks like they did succeed in taking out one or two, but we still have two artillery on this left flank that is intact. Now over here on this right flank, I wonder if... Oh, we're starting to get some firing. So their skirmishers have lined up on this riverbed as howitzers are firing overhead, and they're firing over on my ally as he is still out of range with his line. The French skirmishers are probably going to get a good amount of kills off here. Just kind of sitting in the reeds, so to speak, letting off some shots at these guys. The sound of them loading up them guns. Gotta love it. The amount of time it takes them. Yep, there they go again, letting off some good volleys there. And the line, setting up their artillery here, trying to get off some shots at my ally. Their skirmishers are probably really getting some good hits off here. As you can see, my skirmishers here are here as well, trying to get some hits off over at this cav unit that is kind of just, you know, seeing if he wants to go in for a cav charge, and it looks like he will. I wonder if this is going to be the last time they go for this. Oh, just took out too many cav as they go in, and they break right before they can get in there, and my skirmishers light them up as they try to get away. Was not a good cav charge. They shouldn't have waited that long. They should have just stormed across the field, and as you can see, they're just being taken out. The amount of cav that have rushed this hill trying to take out my artillery is just, it's a little sad, to be completely honest. Oh, and over here, I did rush and I took out one French cav unit because he wasn't really paying attention. And I have moved my cav all the way at this point, and I thought, hey, maybe I can get up behind these guys and kind of try to swoop around and get their artillery. I thought maybe I'd be able to do that. So I'm starting to line up my cav here, and I believe that they are just, yeah, they're just dragoons. There's not dragoons and hussars. So they are not the strongest cav units, but they're not, you know, extremely weak like lancers either. And oh, as you can see, the howitzers back there still pounding the French, trying to get maybe his general to die a little bit. If we can get that general, maybe we can knock out some morale with these guys. So I was moving my cav here, trying to cross this bridge in secrecy, trying to get up behind these French. And at this point, I'm like, alright, I wonder if there's more here than just this one cav unit. Because even if I rush this cav unit, this is a strong French Dragoon cav unit right here. So I'm like, alright, I really got to get formed up. Because if I rush in and take him out, even if there's not more guys here than just what I'm seeing, it's going to be hard. But the problem is I'm not completely sure if there's more than what I can see here. So I'm like, alright guys, let's get lined up. And we're going to try to rush in and take these guys out. And this is where it got a little choppy. As I'm rushing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I am starting to reveal the entire French army. And he sees me rushing in, and he's sending over some more cav. And I got a decent charge in, but it didn't really do much to this cav unit. And as you can see, my men are already starting to crumble as he's sending in some more French.
Our men are running for
Yep, and there they go. They break. And as he sends in some more French cav, it's pretty much all over. But on the bright side, I did reveal pretty much the entire French army that is forming over here on our left flank. And they were starting to move a couple units in, and we're going to try to get some shots off. Now they've tried multiple times to crush this artillery and to crush this left flank with their cav, and it just hasn't worked. So here they go, sending in some infantry. Still, going back and forth with this artillery here. And over on this right flank, we have, looks like another cav charge going on here. The French are bringing their cav, it's their lancers right across the riverbed, and they're headed right into this British line. Oh, and they stop. Why'd they stop? They would have had a... Oh, and that was a bad idea. They just lose a bunch of cav. The British had enough time to form up. The French are backing up a little bit. They shouldn't have gone that far. If they were going to go that far, they should have just finished it off. But they were able to save their dragoons. And my ally still has a very strong line over here on this right flank. The howitzers are still punishing these units. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it for the French. So far, the French are not doing a great job in this battle. They've gotten a lot of their cav either weakened or routed. And as you can see, I'm feeling pretty confident. Oh, yeah, see? Routed. We were feeling very well. We had a very strong position. We were lined up on this riverbed here on the right. And then going up in the middle and then on our left flank. Very set up here, very well. They kept throwing everything they could at us, and we were not breaking. We had a very strong position. And here come the French again. Looks like they're crossing the riverbed one more time. And it really seems like they're just trying to test this out a little bit. Like they're trying to really feel out if they can take us on or not. Oh, and the howitzers punishing the cav, the general back here that's sitting in the town. And still trying to get some shots off on this artillery, and as you can see, it's just not hitting. I probably should have moved my artillery, but did not really think about it at the time. Still lined up in this town. A lot of artillery going back and forth, and before the game, our allies, we were in chat, and we were like, you know, the way we're going to win this battle is probably from the amount of artillery that we have. If we just post up and we let them try to keep sending waves and waves after us, and we just keep picking away at them with our artillery, then that's probably how we'll win this game. Now it still seems to not be too much going on here on this entire line. As you can tell, the French don't really want to move in extremely strong because they're going to lose a lot. But over here on this right flank, the French feel like they have no problem kind of probing our lines a little bit. But, you know, the British are going to pull their card. They pull up and they say, you know what? We can take you guys on. Even though you have a whole healthy line here, we think we got you guys. And they have some French cav lined up here on their left flank, ready to charge in if need be. Oh, and these howitzers, you just love to see it when they crush like thunder over enemy units. And yeah, the British here, they realize, alright, maybe we shouldn't form up with these guys. They look like they have a pretty strong position. A lot of almost like called, I don't know what to call it, almost like field dressing going on here. Two teams are kind of just playing chicken here over on this left flank. Like, all right, we'll move up. All right, we'll back up. All right, now we'll move up. All right, now we'll back up. Kind of like, all right, who's gonna strike first? He keeps striking with his howitzers, and I'm surprised he's not shaking all of them up a little bit over here. Most of the time, me and my two other allies were just sitting here on this hill waiting to see what happens on this right flank. Now, if the British punch through here on this right flank, then we could probably break out and head for this town, but we didn't want to do that prematurely until we figured out what was going to go on here on this right flank. Now the line's setting up. Really getting some good shots off here. And you really love to see it. Oh, more howitzers going off. And we have a very good line engagement here. The British are like, all right, if you're going to fire, we're going to fire too. Finally got a good line battle going on here between the French and the British. And the French are all right, maybe not, maybe not. British are really letting the French have it here. Oh, and they're starting to move up. And look at this guy here. This lone drummer, he's like, don't worry guys. I'm gonna keep the spirits high. Oh, and the French are actually moving up as well, as he's starting to move his cav back behind the smoke screen of his French guns. And the French are starting to push very hard here. And as you can see, my ally was like, alright, I'll send a few units to come help you out. Because it's starting to seem like, alright, maybe the French might win this line battle. They've moved up their artillery again. They're getting very good position. They're basically firing point blank range with their artillery right at my British lines. And they're starting to push my ally back a little bit. They have completely moved across this riverbed and they're starting to move up the hill. Now, as you can see, my ally here, he's starting to send his cav. He's like, don't worry, man. I'm not going to let your left flank crumble. We're going to knock these guys out. As they move up very determined. And the French continuing to just move very strong through these trees. And once again, the drummer is like, alright guys, let's go lads. And the British are here, ready for them to keep moving. They're like, come on, come across this hill, see what happens. Getting off some very good shots here. Oh, and the howitzers just crush into this French line. And still, the drummer's like, all right, maybe you guys got this one. Some very good volleys going on here. As the French and the British duke it out here on this left flank. French's left flank. Our right flank. And the line battle just continues. And finally, I'm like, all right, you guys need some help. I'm sending units as well. And I started to move units down into the town. I'm like, all right, maybe I can... I'm not really going to be able to help you with this line battle, but maybe if I punch a hole in this town, it might distract them enough and kind of worry them a little bit, where they start to shift some units off of this, our right flank, and, you know, try to help out a little bit. So I start to move a lot of units in. They completely crush... one of my cav units, and I'm trying to get a good position here with my line so that I can get some shots off at these guys here in the town, because they do have this house. They do hold it at the moment, and I'm thinking, all right, well, if I get close enough and kind of get these guys out of this town a little bit, I can just move in and take out this town. And they're trying, their artillery is trying to get some shots off at me, but I'm kind of positioned well behind these towns, or these houses, that it's not really working. This line battle has continued to go on. Now I've formed up my line here as well, and we're starting to pepper these French a little bit. But these are strong French units, so not too sure how this is gonna go. As you can see, these beautiful French uniforms getting lined up. I'm not quite sure why this one on the far right isn't firing. He might have turned his tactical fire at will off, but really trying to get some good volleys off here. Oh, and once again, get some good shots off, and a couple guys go down, and finally they're like, all right, we're not just going to stand here anymore. Let's get some shots off. And this is a very good unit here. But they continue to go down. Oh, and we have a cav charge. My ally sends in his cav. Oh, and they actually hold pretty strong. They didn't form square, but they didn't break either. Trying to get these French to crumble a little bit. Who will break first? And it's the Austrians. The Austrian cav breaks, even though they had a big, healthy unit of cav. And the French are moving up here. They're getting like point blank range within the British here. And are they going to form up? Yep. Forming up here. They are very, very close to this French or this British unit. Oh, and they do. They send one bayonet charge in across this field. Will the British get off a shot before they hit? No. Oh, they're trying to reform. And they just go right into them. Oh, and this guy just gets skewered. Oh my gosh. Oh, and this guy's getting choked out. Another guy getting skewered, hit right in the face. The French look like they are winning this battle. Got some good fighting going on here. Oh my gosh, the British are dropping like flies. Oh, and the howitzers going off right above their head. We have another French bayonet charge over here. They are charging the British once again. Will this British unit fare as badly as the other one? Oh, and the commander charges in with his skewer, or scabbard, I should say. And he takes down one unit. Gets a little hard to see here because the British and the French are wearing very similar uniforms. But it looks... Oh, and that French unit broke? Oh, and we just have a complete charge in here. It appears that everybody is just going at it here in this flank. Not all the French are breaking, though. The French are forming up here. Through the trees, the Austrians coming with their cav. Not much of a charge, though. And the French are getting off some good shots. Oh, man. The French are in a very bad position. They're kind of getting wedged into a pincer movement here. Oh, this cav unit just gets destroyed. And they're starting to get off some really good shots at these Austrians coming in. I wonder if, are they coming in for a bayonet charge? And the organization is just completely falling apart here on this right flank. I believe at one point my ally, the Austrians here, they did go AFK. Oh, and it appears that the French are moving in now very heavily at the back of the town. They did. They came across this riverbed and they've completely formed up behind me. But as you can see, I've completely abandoned this farm and I've moved up to take this town. I'm starting to fire at these units that are moving at me across the riverbed.
Our men are running.
And we are getting some good volleys off at one another. The speed in which some of these reloading was happening. Getting some good shots off at these French that are about to break. And as you can see here, the French are moving in. And I just completely start to crumble. Austrians are trying to help me out take this town. And actually, the town was a lot harder to take than you would think. Now, this right flank is still probably the best flank that we have going on in this battle. And I believe, like I said, this is when our player, he either lagged out of the game or he left the game. Austria did. And at that point, as you can see, this mobbing effect kind of happened. Austria, as a computer, didn't know what to do and kind of just fell apart. Yep, and there goes the French to take out some friendly artillery. And this is where the battle really started to turn not in our favor. And my artillery, or our artillery, I should say, is about to be taken out again by some French cav units that are just pretty much just sweeping up whatever's left back here.
Our men are running, sir.
So as you can see, it's kind of actually turned out pretty bad. This right flank has gone very well, but everything behind has kind of just gotten swallowed up by this French army moving in. And we're kind of getting surrounded here. It's not really working out. And we're fighting for this house now. I sent in some of my grenadiers. And now my ally, Austrians, are trying to turn around and get off some shots as we're starting to get surrounded a little bit. Although this right flank does seem to still be going pretty decent. The British are moving up. Not quite sure how this one's going to turn out. We're getting some good volleys off here. This is a big healthy unit. 226 men. Jesus. If there's one thing the Russians bring to the battlefield, it's big, strong units. Still fighting for this house. It's starting to go our favor a little bit, but it's still anybody's game. French are moving in here for another bayonet charge. They are running so fast. Got some track stars over here. Oh, and they take out a lot of my infantry. Oh, they're just picking them apart. My British units dressed in all black here, trying to hold off this French line. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, and they do. They break the French as more French start to move in behind. My Russian allies trying to hold off here behind this rock wall, but the French are moving in. I'm not sure how this one's going to go. This flank seems to have been the center to a lot of charges. It looks like they've taken these ruins here that never were really intact, I don't think, but are definitely not intact now. And the French are charging here, and I believe my Russian allies are going to break again. There's just too many French moving in behind, and yep, they're starting to crumble. They're getting hit on too many sides. Over here, as you can see, the Austrians are completely forming up again, and for sure by this point, it was just the computer acting. So it was kind of a big loss for us. I remember typing in chat, like, I think the guy's name was Jorf or Yorf or something like that. I remember typing in chat, hey, that dude is AFK. He's either dropped out of the game or he left the game, and it's just computer. So if we lose this battle, it's because we lost him. But we were trying our best to put up a good fight. He had skirmishers here on this hill that were still getting off some pretty good shots at me. I was trying to hold this side of the riverbed down here. And listen to that sound of them loading those guns. It's kind of, I guess for some it could be like nails on a chalkboard. You look as they stand in this field of wheat. Let's see what's going on over here on this flank. Austrians are moving back to try to hold this town with me. So now we have me, the British, my Russian allies, and the Austrians all trying to hold this town, as everybody on the right flank is starting to realize, all right, we are losing over here. They're about to get completely encircled almost, because the Cav, the French Cav are moving in behind. It's not working out that well. I'm not quite sure who these French are shooting at. I think they're shooting at these Russians trying to hold this street. As their friends start to retreat here, as you can see, they're broken. And he's like, all right, we got to get out of here. We're starting to lose too many men. Oh, and they're about to break. Oh, man. I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping they make it back to this town in time. As we have some engagements going on here between the French and my Austrian allies. And they are just trying to kind of keep the French at bay as long as they can before we lose this town completely. As you can see, I formed up my troops here. What's going on this flank? Oh, at this point, my line is trying to hold this French off from moving in on this side of the town. But as you can see, it's not working out entirely great. We have French Cav moving up on the horizon behind the smoke screen of the troops. And it looks like, yep, they're going right in for this unit. Cut right through them like butter, and they'll probably break. Oh, they're Lancers too. Yep, and those Austrians just crumble. The Austrians were trying to go in for the French artillery there. As you can see, it didn't work out. You can't even see the battlefield here. It's such a big smoke screen. All you can see is the light of my guns. Getting off some good volleys here. And as you can see over through the reeds, you can see the French guns occasionally light up as well.
Our general is under
Oh, and my general got knocked out here in the town, it looks like. Oh, well, he's not out yet. Can he fend off this French unit? I think they will. And at that point, I tried to move my, oh! They went in with the bayonet charge. Oh, and one of my units breaks here. Sending in another unit to help my units out, but I think it's already too late. Trying to move my infantry up out of here, and they did. They broke my general. Now, as you can see, the French are moving in very strong here, trying to completely encircle our town, which they will do. As we have some Russian troops behind this rock wall, and I'm sitting here behind the stakes. I have my Highlander foot ready and waiting. The French are evacuating. The Russians are trying to help me hold it. And it's kind of becoming a fight for our lives at this point. We have all these troops still here, but you will see here in a second it's not really going to matter because the French are completely encircling. We're fighting on two fronts, and we're trying to hold the town. The French just have too good of a position. And look at the carnage that happened from that line battle within these trees. That was insane.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Oh, and it appears that they took the building that was on the hill. I don't believe that building was... No, it wasn't even worth any points. So, not quite sure why my ally posted up in that building. Russians trying to hold off the French here. Get a good kill right there, good volley. Not quite sure if the Russians will hold them off. And the French not breaking. Oh, we got a couple French units, or French infantry going down there. A couple Russian infantry going down as well. Problem here is they're a little bit outnumbered, my Russian allies, with two French healthy units here. Oh, yep, and the French have moved up here as well. Oh, and we have another volley going on here. Now, I am behind the rock wall, but I'm not sure how much cover that's really giving me. Oh, and we have the commander here with his flintlock just... Alright, I'm gonna get a shot off as well.
Our men are running, sir.
Another one of my infantry breaks. And as you can see, I'm getting outnumbered here. Trying to keep these French at bay a little bit. And the British and the French are having a good back and forth here across this riverbed. When you really think about how inaccurate these guns were at the time, I mean, they're firing at people that are pretty much, I wouldn't say a football field, but no, maybe, yeah, firing at people that are a football field distant away with guns that are not entirely accurate. The howitzer's still going off back there as well. Oh, and it looks like the French are moving up another unit. Probably trying to mop up what's ever left of me. The French are coming in behind, letting off some shots as well. They're really starting to isolate our troops. Oh, and we have a cav charge over here. And they just go right into the Austrian computer that is not paying attention. And this is why you don't want a computer in the NTW3 mod. As you can see, he's just all mobbed up here together, not firing at anybody, completely isolating himself, and all of these units look like they're about to break almost. Honestly, it's kind of pitiful. We have the British here trying to hold off this French, but the cav are coming in behind them, and they just barely form square and break off this French unit. Move back into their lines, trying to hold off this French.
Our men are running, sir.
And at this point, I'm typing in chat like, look guys, I'm almost out of this fight. All I have left are a few units left in town. No, I'm wrong. All I have left are nobody. At this point in the fight, I had nobody left except for one unit left in the house. we were losing on all sides. We were isolated here in the middle, and we were surrounded on 3 sides here. Wasn't looking very good for us. And we have a French bayonet charge. They will probably break this British unit if I had to guess. Oh, he just gets hit right in the face, knocked out immediately. But the French don't care. They're going right into the British lines. British are like, we're not having it. French going down like flies. Oh, choking this guy out here. Another French bayonet charge. And honestly, I'm not sure how well this is ending up for the French. Looks like the French are breaking, but they did end up breaking 2 British units. And the French moving in again. Or the British cav. Or nope, the French are moving in again, yep. Trying to sweep up whatever's left of this British advance. And they completely have broken this British front. So now all we have left. Oh, and the French have broken this British front as well. They're trying to hold off, but I don't believe they will. They came in with the extremely well armored dragoons, and their bullets are doing nothing. Aim for the head, men! Aim for the head! And whatever was left there was completely mopped up. And the Austrians here in the middle are trying to withstand this French push. And as you can see, the mod is struggling a little bit to keep all the sound up to date. Sound is not coming through, but that's just kind of a Napoleon thing sometimes. When you have so much gunfire going on the battlefield at one time, it gets a little bit hard to process all the sound. So yeah, you get that sometimes. But they are completely mopping up whatever is left of these Austrians. Austrians breaking left and right. This is the last Austrian unit. They will probably break any second now. Yep, there they go. Yep. And the French are just calmly sitting behind the rock wall. You know, picking off whoever they can as they're running out. And it really just became a bloodbath here in this field. We were doing so well over here on the right flank. Kind of were keeping the French at bay. And in the end, the 2 major things that led to our downfall was Jorf or Yorf going AFK and either dropping out of the game and his unit just becoming the computer, and the French kind of sweeping in behind, outflanking us here in the back. So we were doing good. We had a good, strong position up until that point. And as you can see, the French are coming together here in the middle. I remember typing in chat being like, what are you guys doing over here? You know, all forming up in like a big circle, and they were like, it's a parade. they were so frustrated all game with us having this strong position on the hill. They were like, you know what, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. We need a win. And here the cav just kind of sitting up on this hill. Beautiful cav unit back here just saying, you know what, we did good. Let's enjoy this. My British units just completely running away here. A big fight for the town, left a lot of dead troops as the French start to pour in even more. And they're still firing off shots. It looks like we still at the moment have the house. Let's see how this fight's going. They're trying to get in this house, but my Highlander foot is keeping them out. Keeping them at bay so far. Almost nobody left on the top floor except for a couple guys in the window. And it looks like we do have the commander here. And here's the French parade. And when you really look, they still had so many healthy units. You know, the fight probably would have ended very quickly anyway. And wow, just the amount of dead. I mean, this whole entire force completely taken off. This was probably my favorite engagement of the entire battle, was this engagement, this line engagement that was over here on this right side. It was so chaotic, everybody fighting at once. And as you can see over here, town is about to fall. They're really just trying to get this house, and we're starting to finally lose it. Only have 152 guys left in the house. The amount of mass routing is pretty crazy, and it only was 18 minutes left to go. So it's pretty unfortunate. Oof. Sorry about all the yawning, guys. Last night I went to, or I should say yesterday, not last night. Yesterday I went to the opening game of the Washington football team season. Well, we lost, but it was a pretty good game. Had a good time. So there's a little bit of insight on my life. Is football's back, people. Football is back. And they're really putting up a good fight for this house, and they finally have lost it. And there goes the battle. Firing off those last artillery shots to kind of sound the end of everything. And actually, it appears that on this hill there's one last Austrian unit. But knowing the computer, they'll break any second now. Was a good fight up until the end. We can just fast forward this. Yep, and they broke. And I believe that's the end. I don't see any more units lying around. Yep. So Yorf is the one who went inactive. I'm here. I'm Skelly Hansen. And, oh, wow. I only had 930 losses. And really, my kills weren't even that much. If you look at the French, I mean, they were getting 1,000, 2,000 apiece. But us, I guess maybe we were winning as well as we thought we were. We didn't really get a lot of kills, but we held that position for a really long time on that hill. And as you can see, my British ally on the right flank, he did most of the fighting. 1,300 kills, did pretty good. Let's see which one of my units did the best. 31, 37. Let's see, 154. Wow, my Royal Highlander foot, the Black Watch, the 42nd. Royal Highlander foot, Black Watch. Got 154 kills. Good Grenadier unit there. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another battle. Really appreciate it. I'm going to be trying to upload more of these. I'm trying to do one video a week, so usually every Friday is when I'll put out a video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you, guys.